Are you ready? Excitement is building for a partial solar eclipse passing over the Pacific Northwest this week. And on Saturday morning, the moon will pass in front of the sun, eclipsing almost 90% of it. That's called an annular solar eclipse, and it creates a ring of fire effect around the sun. And Julia Jansen with the Pacific Science Center is in studio with us live this morning with some ways you can prepare for this eclipse. And we're just excited to have this demonstration here because this is such a rare event.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the annular solar eclipse that's happening on Saturday morning.
Okay.
And to get us started, I wanted to do a little demonstration of what an annular solar eclipse is, because it's something that most of us have never seen before.
Right.
So a normal solar eclipse is when the moon passes in front of the sun and blocks out all of the light.
Okay.
And we can show that. So we're going to have our camera here represent our audience, so all you viewing at home are going to see what we see from Earth. And I'm going to walk in here with our moon, and you'll see that during a normal solar eclipse, we get the moon to just barely cover the sun.
Okay.
But with an annular eclipse, the moon is actually just a little bit further from the Earth than normal. So I'm going to walk a little bit backwards.
Okay.
And you can see that makes the moon a little bit smaller in comparison to the sun.
Right.
So you see that ring of fire around it. And that's why we call it the annular eclipse, because it's made of that little ring of fire around the outside.
Well, I mean, it's such a cool event. How can we view this like safely, though? I know this is something that people, you know, don't stare directly up at the sun. Don't look at this. We need special glasses.
Yeah, so in an annular eclipse, unlike a total eclipse, there is never a safe time to look directly at the sun, so you want to make sure that you have some safe viewing methods. You don't actually need any special tools to be able to see an eclipse. You can view it indirectly, safely at home, using things you might have at home, like a calendar here, or you can even make a hole punch in a note card.
That's
or you can even use your fingers. Yeah, as long as you have a small hole-shaped object, it doesn't even have to be circular. You can actually use that with the sun at your back to project a shadow of the eclipse onto the ground. So that you can watch the shadow in real time without damaging your eyes. Now, if you do have some eclipse glasses, and I've got a pair for us here, you'll notice that they are super duper dark. You shouldn't be able to see pretty much anything through them except the sun. Even our bright studio lights are kind of hard to see.
I can't see anything.
And that's actually why it's not safe to use something like sunglasses instead, because these need to be really, really dark to protect your eyes. And if you're not sure if your eclipse glasses are safe, just make sure that there are no scratches on them, make sure that they're intact. And there's also a handy little rating on the inside of the glasses that you can use to check to make sure that they're safe.
So there's lots of safety reminders around here, and folks can always visit the Pacific Science Center. I know you guys are celebrating big things there. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so right now we're celebrating Astronomy Month at Pacific Science Center, which means, because we've got the upcoming solar eclipse this week. We also have some new content on the floor. We just updated a bunch of our space exhibits, so there are some new space exhibits on the floor. We've got some new planetarium content happening, and on Saturday, after the solar eclipse, because that will be happening just before we open, we're going to be having a solar science day where scientists from the community are going to come and share what they are learning about the sun.
So not just for the youth. This is an adult event, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are plenty of ways for adults to get engaged as well, to learn about real science that's happening in real time.
I think this is one of those events where it's good for the kids, good for the adults, and it kind of suffices everyone around, right? You see smiles on most everyone's faces.
Yeah, absolutely. Eclipses are a really special time, and they're really memorable experiences for kids and adults alike. I'm sure many of our viewers at home remember the 2017 eclipse.
Yes.
That was a really memorable event, and so this is a great way for anyone of all ages to engage in science and get really excited about some space science.
All right. Well, Julia Jansen from the Pacific Science Center, thank you so much for joining us today. We're excited about this. You know who else is probably excited about this as well? Is our own meteorologist, chief meteorologist, Brian McMillan. And he's geeking out over there.
Right. We're going to talk a little bit here about this solar eclipse. A little different than the one back in 2017. That was a total eclipse. This one's an annular eclipse, and you'll still see the ring of fire around that, just kind of that ring right around the eclipse. The path of that is going to be heading right over southern Oregon, so areas around Salem, Eugene, Medford, those are the sweet spots. Up here around Washington, we'll catch about 80% of that. So the maximum eclipse happens at about 9:20. This is kind of what it would look like. Unfortunately, we are going to be seeing a lot of cloud cover here in western Washington, so going to be a little tough to see that eclipse. That's the difference of having it in August like we did when that total eclipse came through, as opposed to having it in October. Can't really count on the weather, unfortunately. So again, that's 9:20 in the morning on Saturday. And then partial eclipse ends there by the time we get, oh, very cool. Thank you, Erin. Oh, yeah, I love these things, by the way, and you got to wear them. You can't see anything. It's totally dark. Thank you.